Hello and welcome to Toadstool Tarot. I beg your indulgence as I'm once again reading from my own script. I gathered a few thoughts and knew that because I don't edit my videos, I might not be clear or might leave something out if I didn't script myself. So here are a few thoughts about hashtag our tarot journey. Since the late 1960s, I've been a major fan of a psychedelic folk band from Scotland called the Incredible String Band. Some of the older members of the community might well remember their music and evocative imagery in their lyrics. The album that most springs to mind is their major benchmark, The Hangman's Beautiful Daughter. There are a couple of lyric snippets from that album that have always intrigued me. I'm certain that they were heavily influenced by tarot cards and other esoteric studies, from images in the song Witch's Hat to the Minotaur's song, which could depict an earthly sort of horned devil. In the song Coyote There, I'd read somewhere they found the title character's name by maneuvering a planchette on a Ouija board. In lines like, "The natural cards revolve, ever-changing, seeded elsewhere, planted in the garden fair, grow trees, grow trees." And in the lines, "Earth, water, fire, and air met together in a garden fair, put in a basket bound with skin. If you answer this riddle, you'll never begin." If you're not familiar with them, I encourage you to find a copy of this album and give it a listen. I'll see if I can find a link to a YouTube sample and include it in the comments below. I've often wished for a tarot deck reflecting their amazing evocative and poetic lyrics. I've even considered creating one myself, but I feel I lack the particular skill set to do it justice. Which brings me to another point. I'm fairly recent to the tarot community, but I have noticed that many of its members make themselves quite vulnerable in their shares and seem to experience issues of depression, physical illness, or issues of self-esteem or self-worth, bullying, victimization, and so on. So many of us feel like outsiders looking for a way to connect with others, with the world. It is quite a wonderful thing that we've all found each other. Where others might seek out a doctor, a therapist, or some other type of counselor, tarot enthusiasts seem to take solace in their relationships with their community, but foremost with their cards. I got to thinking about that relationship, and in reading I noticed that some described tarot as the fool's journey, following his course through the majors and minors. I'd like to offer an alternative viewpoint. I think we're more like the hanged man. All of us just hanging by a thread, holding on, but needing to find new perspectives for direction in our lives, not knowing which way to turn, not knowing which choices to make to help us maneuver our ways out of our daily dilemmas. Like the hermit, we retreat to a place of solitude to consult the cards and look for answers. So many of us feel damaged when we fumble about in the dark looking for the light. outsiders on a quest. Sometimes we look to authoritative systems, the emperor, or the Hierophant, when we seek guidance. Sometimes we move in the direction of the esoteric, the unknown, the mystery studies of the High Priestess. The Tarot is a book of windows, but it also unlocks doorways and opens rooms in our haunted houses, providing answers. Many times we've locked those doors ourselves, but Tarot provides the keys. The lesson I find most often offered by the Tarot is one of directing us to find or maintain balance within our lives, particularly when we have a tendency to careen off course or out of control. Some of the cards reflecting this idea repeatedly surface, bringing our attention back to that point of measured balance. Temperance, with its 2 pitchers of water. The Star, with its 2 pitchers of water. Justice, with its balancing scales. The 6 of Pentacles, with its scales. The 2 of Pentacles, with its juggler. The 2 of Swords, with its crossed purposes. And even the Chariot, with its usual depiction of 2 horses pulling our cart forward but struggling over opposite directions, which way to go. And if you read reversals or not, each card has that duality within it, positive and negative, choices and outcomes. Certain old sayings come to mind: everything in moderation, go with the flow, don't fight the tide, as above, so below. These and other lessons are delivered, little pearls of wisdom, phrases that come to mind in the images in the cards of the Tarot. What cards deliver specific lessons to you? I invite you to consider these questions. Thanks for indulging me. Until next time, goodbye.